What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over the long range meta for Season 1 Reloaded. We're going to be using MetaGen. MetaGen is a tool that I built on TrueGameData.com that is basically a giant AI algorithm that will search all attachment combinations for all the weapons for a given weapon type. So in this case we're going to be doing long range automatic, and it will calculate out the meta based on your inputs. So you can select trios or quads, you can force all the weapons to be suppressed, you can select when you're okay with lasers being visible, whether it's during ADS, hipfire, or neither. And then you can also customize your stat weighting. So if you're a more aggressive player, you can use MetaGen to say, time to kill is really important because I'm aggressive, I need good time to kill because I'm in close range engagements. So is damage per second. ADS time would be a little more important if you're an aggressive player. Things like that. You can come in here and kind of tune this to give you an output for specifically how you like to play the game, what game mode you're playing, whether it's small map or big map, different things like that. So that's the power of MetaGen. Before I get into it, I want to mention this again. I did start a hobby channel for myself on YouTube. It's called Zachman Golf. I'm a scratch golfer, and I've always wanted to make a YouTube channel about golf. So I don't know how often I'm going to be posting there, but if you're actually interested in golf, it'd be awesome if you went over there and checked it out. I actually developed this code on the right, little Python program to help me do 3D map tracers for my shots in the rounds a couple days ago, so I'm pretty excited about that. Trying to bring some programming into the channel just to make it a little more interesting and unique compared to other golf channels. So if you're interested in that, head over there and check it out. So for this video, we're just going to use the default values for all the different weightings for stats. That gives you essentially what I believe is the meta for just the average player. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take like the top 5-6 options from MetaGen, and we're going to use another feature on TGD called the True TTK Simulation to really get an idea of, for me personally, what my meta is. So this is the power of True Game Data at this point, is to figure out what you are best with rather than what some YouTuber tells you is the best. People control recoil differently, people handle different weapons differently. So the idea of True Game Data, the whole point of the website at this point, is to help you find your specific meta for you. So that is what we're going to do today for me, so I can demonstrate that, but I'll also give you the MetaGen general meta because I know a lot of people just want that. But I do want to show you how you can really use the features of TGD to find your specific meta. To start with here, I'm just going to go through the scores for the top 9 weapons. The meta is in a super healthy spot right now for long range. We have, I think, like 12 or 13 weapons on TGD that score above a 9 out of 10 from MetaGen, so that's pretty crazy. So 9th place is the SVA 545. This is just on automatic, and I actually think it's a little bit better on burst. The reason that switching over to that burst fire mode on the SVA is not in MetaGen here is just because it's a different kind of weapon, and I found it really difficult to mathematically have it be accurate between two completely different styles of weapons. So eventually I plan on having like a burst mode, single fire mode, those different options on here to select when you first search for the meta, but there probably won't be mix, at least to start with, just because it's really difficult to mix the type of weapons. So the SVA 545, 9.32 on automatic, but actually probably a little bit better than that on single fire, so I actually think it is pretty up there as far as the meta goes. bas-b at 9.48, another very, very solid option there. TAC Eradicator 9.58, and now we're getting into the top 5 or 6 weapons here. We've got the MTZ-762. Even after the big nerf, it is still a competitive weapon at 9.63 out of 10. Ram 7, a lot of you are using this right now. It's a great option for aggressive play. Same with the bas-b, actually. They're both really good for aggressive players because they have that good time to kill, better mobility, better ADS speed than some of the other heavier weapons. So that's in the gold position with 9.66. Then we have the DG58 LSW at 9.79, and this is in the platinum position. Diamond, we have Bruin Mark 9, 9.87. Holger 26, 9.9 in the number 2 position. And then the Pulam Yacht 762 is still number 1 at 10 out of 10. I do want to mention we have that new Jack BFB muzzle. So that is an attachment that has like between 40 and 60% recoil reduction on all of these weapons. So I have not added that to TGD yet. It's probably going to break MetaGen because MetaGen doesn't understand, map ping time, how long you're on the map and being an advanced ping. I can put it in there, but I just have to kind of decide myself how valuable that is and how much that actually hurts the scores. So if I put that on there right now, every weapon probably would have it equipped, and I don't really think that that's how it should be. I think suppressors are still extremely powerful. I personally would still want to use a suppressor when I was playing over top of using that Jack BFB, so I have to figure out how to deal with that with MetaGen. So these builds aren't going to have that attachment, but when we actually get into the build recommendations towards the end of the video, I probably will include that on some of them. So looking at the builds here, SVA 545, we got the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor, STV Precision Barrel, main V6 stock, and 60 round mag. bas-b, same suppressor, Bruin Venom Long Barrel, Kimura Rin Vertical Grip, and then 45 round mag. For the TAC Eradicator, same suppressor, the Conquer 70 Long Barrel, TAC Vert Core Stock, and then the Kimura Vertical Grip. So MetaGen tries to decide if more vertical recoil or horizontal recoil is needed based on the recoil pattern. Has some pretty advanced recoil analysis in there to decide how that all works out. So it's going to pretty much recommend either the Bruin Heavy Support Grip or the Kimura Rin Vertical Grip for either horizontal or vertical, just because those tend to be the best statistically of the underbarrels. So that's what you're going to see on these different weapons. For the TAC Eradicator, yeah, we've got the vertical grip. MTZ 762, the Spirit Fire Suppressor again, the MTZ Precision Blackthorn Barrel, the Rin Vertical Grip 30 round mag, Ram 7, Spirit Fire Suppressor, HVS 7 pad for the stock, and then the Rin Vertical Grip again, 60 round drum, DG58 LSW, Spirit Fire Suppressor, Woody Long Barrel, Recoil Reduction Butt Plate, and then Kimura Rin Vertical Grip again. For the Bruin Mark 9, we have the Spirit Fire Suppressor, Bruin Heavy Sport Grip, 5.56 High Velocity, and the 60 round mag. It's going to make it much more like an AR than some of the other LMGs in here. For the Holger 26, we've got the Spirit Fire Suppressor, the Holger Factory Barrel, Bruin Heavy Sport Grip, and then the Morn 20 Rear Grip. And then for the Pool Miat 762, Sonic Suppressor, Jack Annihilator Long Barrel, Bruin Heavy Sport Grip, and Jack Annihilator Bullpup Kit. So what I said is we're going to take like the top 5, top 6 of these. I'm actually going to do the top 9, and I'm going to take these and get my accuracies from the firing range with these exact builds, put them in a spreadsheet, and show you guys how to use the true TTK simulation to really get your meta, rather than just what MetaGen thinks, what some YouTuber thinks. We're going to get specifically my meta, and then you guys can copy that if you want to, do the same process, and get your meta. So how does the true TTK simulation come into all this? Basically, we're going to take whichever guns we wanted to test out of the top MetaGen weapons. We're going to build them in-game. So this is the build from MetaGen. We're going to launch into the firing range. First thing to do is make sure your dummy is set to 3 plates, just so you have the most health to measure your accuracy against. And then you're going to step up into this front left box, and what that does, you'll see accuracy and targets killed just popped up in the top left of the screen. That gets the system going, and then we're going to run to the back of the room here, and we're basically going to strafe. I like to strafe to give it a more realistic situation for in-game, because you're not ever really standing still in-game. So I like to add this in there just to get a better feel for my accuracy while I'm moving with this build. And then we're just going to kill this last target dummy, you know, between 5 and 10 times. The more times you do it, the better your accuracy is going to end up being as far as realistic for what's going to happen in-game. So I like to do it at least 10 times. So it does take some time to do this, but I mean, it's invaluable to really understand which weapon you are the best at controlling recoil with to get you that real TTK. So basically, I'm just going to kill this dummy. I'm not going to try to predict when the dummy's going to go down, because you are going to miss some bullets when it drops, which is going to lower your accuracy. But in game, the other target's moving, and it kind of balances out a little bit. This is not perfect. I'm not trying to say this is perfect, but it is probably the best tool out there that I'm aware of to, you know, really help you understand how good you are with a weapon. So we're going to just take this dummy out now while I'm strafing. Just wait till I take it down. So I killed it there. I was 75% accurate. And then if I wait, the dummy will respawn. Make sure it's all the way back up before you start again. And then you can just do this again until the dummy goes down. You can see now it took my average of those 2 target kills. So I'm at 48.08 after the first 2 kills. And I just repeat that until I've killed it 10 times. And then I write that accuracy number down somewhere, because you're going to need that to plug into TGD. And you just do that for all the weapons you want to compare. So I'm going to do that now, and then I will, when I'm finished, I'll show you guys the results for myself. Alright, so I've gone and I've tested all 9 of my top weapons from MetaGen, got their accuracies from the firing range, so I'm going to add all of these builds to the comparison, and then we're going to go actually use the true TTK simulation tool. Got all of them there. So on the left side here, we're going to go true TTK simulation. We're going to do TTK, 300 health, bullet travel time, open bolt delay, mouse and key, and then I'm going to enter all my accuracies. So 54.7, 56.32, 47.3, 50, 42.45, 48.8, 51.75, 40.43, and 57.5. So now if I press simulate, I'm going to get a TTK chart that is much more realistic than normal TTK charts. This is going to combine my accuracy at that 55-meter range on the firing range, and it's going to simulate out what the TTK would be at all ranges using that. It's not that accuracy, but it will adjust the accuracy using standard deviations and things like that to kind of assume a cloud of bullet spread based on your accuracy. So it's not perfect. Again, I'm not trying to say it's perfect. It is just simply something to get you much closer to what actually would be the best. And you can see right off the bat, there's a couple weapons to me that stand out. You can also adjust this chart. So if I want to look closer to the range that would really matter for a long range weapon, I would say about maybe like 25 up to 70. We'll do that and get a clearer view here. So down here in the 25 up to 50 meters, or maybe more like 25 up to 43, one gun that did not perform well at all is the DG58 LSW. So I was not accurate with that, and it doesn't have a great time to kill in that first damage range. So it's not going to be super competitive out to about 45-50 meters. But something that stands out is the Pulamyot, the red here on the bottom, pretty much the fastest throughout. And then also the Holger 26 was pretty fast. So it's a little slower out to about 40, but it's really, really good out from 45 and on for my accuracy percentages. And then down here we have this engagement probability by distance. Basically, this takes your graph up here and it multiplies every y value at every x across 0 to 100 by the weighting of this curve. So the default value here is a mean of 35 meters with a standard deviation of 20. That's what that curve is, normal distribution. And basically that weights all of these different TTK charts so you can see exactly what comes out the best for you. So across using this weighting, Pulamyot 762 came out number 1 for me, which is good because it's number 1 in MetaGen at 1223 milliseconds of time to kill. The SVA 545 was actually in second at 1297. So because I was so accurate with the SVA 545, it comes out the second best practical TTK in real world scenarios, versus on the TTK chart it's not going to look that competitive because it's slower time to kill just in, you know, every shot hitting scenarios. But when you start mixing in accuracy, it gets much, much better. So SVA 545 is number 2 for me. MTZ 762 was 3. Holger 26 was 4. Down at the bottom, we have the ones I was less accurate with. So like Ram 7, bas-b, TAC Eradicator has bad time to kill to start with. And then I'm also not good with it for some reason. So its TTK was much slower as well. So that's the power of this tool. You can really get a feel for what you're good with. You can even use this to test different builds. So Bruin Heavy Support Grip versus Kimura, the Kimura Rin grip. You can use the same gun, test out those two different attachments, plug those into this, and you will see, you know, which one comes out better based on how much more accurate you are with whichever attachment you're using. So super powerful tool for me. I'm going to be looking at the Pulamyot and the SVA 545 for most of my playtime just because those came out the top here. Obviously, MetaGen, if we go back to MetaGen for a second, MetaGen doesn't just look at TTK. TTK is extremely important, but MetaGen looks at all stats. So this isn't just looking at time to kill when it gives you these builds and these weapon rankings. So you kind of need to take that into account. SVA 545 is going to be much lighter, much faster, better ADS time, better movement speed, better reload time than these LMGs. And MetaGen takes all that into account and still put it down here just because of that TTK. But because I'm so accurate with it, that kind of shoots the SVA 545 right to number 1 for me as far as what I should be using in game, just because I'm super accurate with it and it's lighter. So you kind of have to mix the results from true TTK simulation and MetaGen to really get your meta. Yeah, overall, I think we've got a very healthy meta right now. I think we've got a lot of good options. bas-b, Ram 7 are very good, but just very inaccurate at longer ranges unless you're using that new Jack BFB muzzle. So it's a trade-off there for more aggressive players. You're going to like both those options a lot, I'm sure. For slower players, bigger map players, you're going to be looking for things that are a little more accurate, like the SVA, the Pulamyot, the Holger 26 is also very good. I think anything over about a 9 is going to be a viable weapon to use in Warzone as far as the rankings on MetaGen go. So if you want to try this out yourself, get the best weapons from here, and always true TTK simulation is the best thing to go to after that, but it does take some time. 10 or 15 minutes to get, you know, 9 weapons done is about how long it took me. So keep that in mind. It's going to take some time, but it will give you the best results of any of these things for you know, a real practical TTK for in-game. But that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The best way to support always is just a membership through TrueGameData.com, and you get access to MetaGen, True TTK Simulation, Best Stat Tool, STK Calculator, all the different things. You get access to that with any level of subscription. And when you guys subscribe, it gives me, you know, this secondary income source away from YouTube, so I don't have to feel like I need to make like sensationalist thumbnails and titles and videos. I can just be honest with you guys, just make videos that are real. And I really, really appreciate that, because I hate doing that. I don't like doing clickbait stuff. I just want to make cool things to help people and not have to worry about, you know, being all sensationalist about it. So I love you guys for supporting me through that, and I appreciate you, but I'll see you in the next video.